Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to each of our witnesses for being here today. We all agree daily exercise is vital for a child's development. President Trump was right to reestablish the presidential physical fitness test to help ease America's expanding childhood obesity rates. And I actually have grandchildren in a school that are preparing all the students in the school to take that test. We all know exercise has many benefits, greater focus in the classroom, and my personal impression is that our boys especially benefit from exercise. Lower risk of, they benefit in light of focusing on their academics when they're allowed to move more. That's what I mean by that. Lower risk of heart disease, cancer, stroke, and diabetes, lower recorded instances of drug abuse, greater development of eye-hand coordination, and improved sleep. Yet today, children are met with greater technological distractions. I think this is one of the issues of why we have less participation. Outside of school, the average child spends nearly 8 hours a day looking at a screen, whether that be through TV, social media, or video games. Parents are finding it increasingly difficult to have their children participate in sports due to rising costs. But also, the thing that I noticed over the decades when I was raising my 7 children is that if you did not get your child in club sports, like under 10, so age 6 and 7, they basically were left out. They didn't have that opportunity. And I hope one of the benefits from this hearing is that we start talking about the value of protecting family time. Children under 10 and families that have super young children should not have to forfeit their family time. Children should be allowed to have free time to engage with nature and in these family relationships, maybe even taking up an instrument or experiment, which sport do I like you were saying, your daughter, just considering that she might want to play a different sport, sideline her, put her on the bench. These are issues that we should be talking about and making it difficult then for parents to get their children into the sports teams. Also, I am concerned about biological boys being allowed to compete in girls' athletics. So related to that, my first question is for Mr. Ferry. What is being done to address the growing crisis that young girls face in sports as they are forced to unfairly compete against biological boys?
So we are really focused on the 63% goal. How do we move from 51 to 55 to 63? So we've put most of our energy into the larger opportunities. The population of kids who are trans, it's very small, doesn't mean it's an insignificant population, but we haven't put a whole lot of energy into that. I would say that we do have a position that every child should have an opportunity to play sports, and that we as a society should make every effort to give every kid a chance to play sports, but there are biological differences, especially once puberty hits, and there are very complicated equations about which sport and safety and health, we haven't weighed in on that necessarily.
Right, they are in the minority, but they're playing against the majority who parents or grandparents don't want their daughter across the net from a large biological male. That's a deterrent to the girls being in it. It's also dangerous. I do want to bring up another issue because we keep talking about access to sports for every child, for every family, and there are many home-educated children in our country that are meeting barriers because the states, I believe probably 20 states, refuse to allow home-educated kids to have access to public school athletic programs. And the Tim Tebow law ensured equal extracurricular access, and I think that we should recognize that we have slammed the door shut unfairly to those students. And thank you, and I yield back.
Ranking Member Bonamici is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What a fascinating